Hi there. I've introduced how to use PointEQ, a transient and tonal split EQ I made in last video. Today, I will explain how it works. As you can see, there are two envelope followers that have different speeds, called nib and knob. One is faster while the other one is slower, and error windows point achieve this by multiplying the sample by the ratio of nib to knob. So I use this ratio to divide the signal into two sections, T and S, which means transient and sustain, to do different EQ adjustment. Then, because nib and knob have different speeds, I know this point naturally increase the peak and attenuate the body. In other words, if I turn invert and wet knob to invert, it will decrease the peak and the body gets strengthened instead. So here comes the problem. If we describe it in math, when the invert and wet knob is set 100%, it's a linear function, y equals x, and the output is simply samples times y. But turning the invert and wet knob to minus 100% make it y equals 1 divided by x. That's a problem. When x is close to 0, y shoots to infinity, and the body's volume goes crazy, jumping from minus 20 dB to 49 dB. If I hadn't placed a clipper of the point while I was testing, it might have damaged my speakers. So I adjust the mapping function in two ways. Version 1 is used in PointEQ, and version 2 is used in pure PointEQ and pure point. Let's hear the difference. Hi, as you can see in these four tracks, from left to right is point, air windows, and pure point I made, and point I made, and none to compare. And let's listen what is difference. And we can use polar invert to listen what it done. And this is pure point. And this is air windows point. And we can adjust reaction speed. And compares what is difference. Okay, that's it.